So welcome back to the learning partner. So this is the third part of e-commerce application. So previous two videos are already live before some days. So this was the last video. I think we will try to cover everything, whatever the things are remaining, like add to cart and checkout process. So in first two videos, like we have seen like how do we create the products from the admin panel. So let me just try to log into admin panel also. Login. So login was hard coded only. So if we go to the login component, admin and the password we have to add. I didn't write any API for the login, so I just had done it at the shortcut. Now you can see I have added four products from here. So now if you click over here on the website also, let me just land the website on the another tab. So by default, it is landing to the all products. So here you can see four products are visible. So these products are coming nothing but from here. If I click on add new over here, let's try to add coriander leaves. Now we are trying to create new products. So this is going to be my page product name. So SKU, let's say coriander name, short name also same. 1 kg. Let's say what is the price? 45 category. Now it will come under, where do we have vegetables? Veggies. Okay, so exotic fruits and veggies. I'm creating in that category. Let's say delivery span is 1 day only. We need image URL. Let's try to get it. This will be image URL and the description. Let's get the description. Let's put the description over here. Now, if I click on create product, my product will be created. Now, if we go to our website and if we refresh, you can see one more product, right? So whenever e-commerce application is created, we have an admin panel also and the front side also. So front side is nothing for us customer, and admin side is like for the vendors who will create their products. Once they create the product, that product will be available on the website for the normal customer to purchase. Now, so we have 5 products now here. Now next thing is, one more thing I have done is like in the category we have shown all the categories, but if I click anywhere, fruits, so you can see fruits are coming. If we click on fruits and veggies, you can see only one item is that in that category. So this is also the another thing I have done. Now next thing I have to do is like on add to cart, I need to add this particular product to my basket. So at the navbar, you can see over here, this is just a static, but we are going to make it dynamic. Why it is going away? So once we click add to cart, we have to integrate our API. So let's see that API. Add to cart API will be there that we have to integrate. See, this is the API. So on click of add to cart, we need to integrate this API. So what it needs, category ID is my primary key, customer ID. So it's an e-commerce application. So without login, we cannot add to cart. So first user has to log in. Then we will get the customer ID in the login API. Then that customer ID, we need to send it over here. Product ID, like wherever you add, click on add to cart, that ID you need to send. Then quantity, like how much quantity you need, and the added date. This will be by default date. But before that, everything first we need to implement the login implementation. So here you can see we have login and the registration button. So first we have to complete the login. But same thing I have covered in the multiple video, but just to wrap up everything in this video, uh, I will provide the reference of the another video where I have implemented the login in the same kind of application. So you can just implement that like that. You just have to open a model pop-up on that button, click. Sorry. And you need to store the user data, whatever you get in the local storage. And from the local storage, you will be getting the customer ID. So for now, I am making the customer ID as hard coded. Now, coming back to add to cart. So this is my API which I have to integrate on the add to cart button. So let's go to service and let's write a API call function first. So we had the product service. So here, just like all the API call, we need to create one more API call that will be for the create new add to cart. So let's copy this. Now function name will be add to cart. Now everything like URL and everything is coming from the constant file. So let's go to constant file. Let's add it also. So this is now add to cart. I'm just copy pasting basic thing. Add to cart. And the URL will be, let's say the URL add to cart only. So this will go over here. And this constant, we are going to use it over here, add to cart. And whatever the object we get, that we will pass it. Now, so in the website, we have web products also. Here we have that add to cart button. See, here is the button where we have add to cart. Now, in the component, we have to create one function. So let's create a function. So when we call this function from the front end, from the button click, so we have to pass certain parameter. So click function, this function we are going to call. Now what things we are going to need is like product ID, like on which product you have said add to cart. So product dot product ID. So for this function, we are sending the product ID. So let's create this function first. So here now I'm creating, what do I say, local objects. So add to cart obj. From front end, we are sending a parameter. That parameter we have to catch it over here. That is going to be product ID. Data type will be number. Now, whatever the parameter we need to send, I'm just copy pasting those parameters. Let's copy. We have to paste it over here. So cart ID will be 0 because that is primary key. Now customer ID. Let's see what are the customer we have. I will just hard code one because I have not implemented the login page. So get all customer, try it out, execute. So here you can see we have certain number of customers. So let's try Karthik one. The customer ID is 379. So I will hard code it. But if you have implemented the login implementation and the everything, so in the once you log in, you get the user detail. That detail you need to store it into the local storage. Then in this component, you need to read the local storage data, and then that data you will store into a variable, and that variable you need to pass it over here. Now, product ID, we have to pass it this. Now, quantity is by default, I'm making it 1 just for now. And added date is like current date. So new date like this. So our whole object is ready. Now we just need to call our API. So this dot product service dot add to cart. We need to pass this local object and dot subscribe. I would have made the detailed video also, but in the currently the company where I work also, I have so much of work. So that's why I was not getting time. So that's why just in a short way, I'm wrapping up everything. So add to cart, the object is created. This object we have sent, and whatever the data we get that we need to match, like if condition, like add to cart is success or not. Result is true. Then we will show alert box like add to cart done, product added to cart. And else we will have error. So that also we need to display. So alert, and in result dot message property, we will get the error. So this is your add to cart API function. And this function we have called from the add to cart button. From here, you just need to send the product ID. Now let's just save and check if we are able to do the add to cart. So let's try to inspect. Now let's say I want to add the fresh carrot. So if I say add to cart, why it got reloaded? Because anchor tag was there. Let me remove this. Let's try again. Now this time let's try to add banana. Let's say if I click on add to cart, you can see one API call is there and a message is also displayed like product add to cart. Let me show you the payload. So in the payload, you can see cart ID is 0 because that is primary. Customer ID is whatever we have sent. Product ID, wherever we have clicked, and quantity is 1. So now we have to check like if for this customer, all the added cart is there or not. So to get the product added to the cart, we have one API. Let me get all. Yeah, get cart products by customer ID. So this is the API which will get you the products added to the cart. So for this API, you need to pass the customer ID. So I have passed the customer ID. Let's click on execute. So here you can see we had added two, carrot and the banana. So in cart of this particular customer, we have added two products. Now this API we have to integrate in the nav bar. So here you can see cart is there. So here we need to display the carts we have added. So for that we need to use this API. So let's go to product service. We have to create one more function. So that will be get. Let me just copy this. So function name will be get cart data by cust ID. And we will have a parameter that is cust ID colon number. Now API call also coming from constant. So here also we need to add. So let's copy. Let's get the URL. Now URL is with parameter. So you will need to copy till over here. And that will go over here. Get cart by cust. Now this constant, we have to use it over here. Get card by cust. And we need to pass the customer ID, whatever we get. So our URL should be properly created. Now this, this is the function which is responsible to get the added item from the cart. So this we have to integrate into our nav bar, wherever we have the nav bar. So you can see this is coming from the nav bar. So this nav bar is in our app component. No, sorry. Where do we have kept that? I think landing. Yeah. So here is the nav bar. So in this component, we need to make that API call. So here, just like get all product and get all category, I'm going to make one more API call, get cart by customer function. Now this dot product service dot get card by customer ID. Now this function requires the customer ID. So we are just hard coding the customer ID. So whatever we have did over here, this same customer ID, I'm hard coding to this API also. Dot subscribe, round bracket, result, colon any. Now, whatever the data we get from this API, that we need to store it also, right? So let's create a variable cart list, colon any, square bracket equal to empty. I'm creating everything with any, but you could create interface and class just to make it all the strongly type. So whatever the data we get that we need to store into this variable. So this dot cart list is equal to res dot data. And this function we have to call on the page load. So here I will call it. Let's save. Now we have got the data into this variable. Now this data we have to bind over here. Now, so you can see this was static. We just need to make it dynamic. So in the HTML, let's see that div. Yeah, so this is the div where we have everything. So instead of this, Let's remove this, and now we have to iterate. So this is the li. So here I will use the ng for star, ng for let cart of cart item. Now image URL I need to bind. So image URL also we need to bind. So I will do the property binding cart dot. So from the get all cart API, we are getting the image ID also. So this is what we have to bind it over here. Then we need to display the product name. So instead of this, cart dot, let's check short name we will display. Then price also we need to display. So instead of this, product price we need to display it over here. Now let's save and check if we are able to see the products we have add to cart. It is saying product price does not exist. Okay, sorry, we missed product cart dot product price. Let's save. Now on the page load, let me just show you. So on the page load, now we will make 3 API calls. So here you can see get all products API call is there, and get all cart products by customer ID. So from this API, we are getting 2 products. Now both of these products will be visible over here. You can see whatever the products we have added are visible in the bus basket of my e-commerce application. Now let's try to add one more. Let's try to add capsicum. But just pay attention now. Currently, I have 2 added items over here. Now, if I add capsicum, product added to the cart, but it is not updated over here. You can see, but now if I refresh, then I will make that API call again, then I will get the latest. See, but this should not be the case. Now, I won't refresh. Once we click on the add to cart, that same data should be visible over here. So for that, here we need to, because this button is my in all product component, but I need to trigger an event like I have added a cart item. Now you can get the latest cart. So for this, we need to create a subject or subject behavior instance. So in product service, I'm creating a subject because we need to tell, we need to again integrate, again need to trigger that API to get the updated cart. So add to cart, sorry, public, add to cart cart updated. Let's cart updated dollar colon subject I'm creating. Let's say boolean. It will need initialization. Yes, let's make it undefined by default. Now in the product service, I have created a subject. Now once we do the add to cart, now we need to emit this. So add to cart we are doing from web product component. See here. So once we know like add to cart is done, so this dot cart updated, sorry, it is in the product service dot cart services dot next. We are emitting the subject and value we are emitting is true. Now once we add to cart, we are emitting this subject, right? So now we need to subscribe this into our home component, that is landing component, where we have the navbar. So in the constructor, this dot product service dot, we have already copied that, we are subscribing to it. So dot subscribe, and here we will trigger the API call. Which API call? Get cart customer by ID. Again, means once we do the add to cart again, we will trigger this API. So let's save and check if we are able to do that. So currently, if we see, we just have capsicum, banana, and carrot. Now let's try to add coriander. So let me open the console so that we can see the API call. Now over here, just pay attention. Currently, we just have 3 items. Now, if I click on add to cart API is done. Once I click on OK, no, still API call is not there. Why is it? We have saved all the file. Why API call was not done? because we have initialized like this. Let me try to initialize properly. It should have triggered that API call, but it is not. But why is it? So in the constructor also we have done, once it is subscribed, we are making the API call. Problem was the if and else statement. So let me just empty the card first. Then I will explain again. So that will be card. Let me delete the data. So now if we refresh, we won't have anything in the card for now for that particular customer. So here you can say we don't have anything. Now let's try to add to cart. So now if we add the coriander, add to cart API is there. Once we say okay, so now you can see we have got the successful result. Then we are emitting this subject. So if we click on next, it will go to the subscribe of that thing. See here. And again, we are making the API call get card by customer. Now it will trigger the get card customer. So now here you can see one audit, right? Let's try to add a banana now. Currently, we just have coriander. If we click on add to cart for the banana, see. So this is like how it works. Once we add to cart, again, we need to call the get API to get the updated cart. Now, you know, like what records, what products are being added over to the cart. We have a cross button over here. On this close icon, we need to remove it. So to remove the cart, we have one API that is delete products from cart by ID. So here you need to send the cart ID. Remember cart ID you need to send that you get from this API. So in this API, you will get this ID. So this ID you need to pass to this cart API, delete. So let's quickly write that also. So product service, now I will just copy paste. Let's see the API call. Let's go to constant. Remove cart. And this is going to be the URL I need to pass. Let's check one more time. Okay, we need to send the ID also. So URL will be like question mark ID equal to. Now, this we will use to the service. Remove cart. Remove product by cart ID. We have to pass the cart ID. This will be cart ID. Remove cart, and we need to pass the cart ID. Let's check the method. So this is get only. You can see now it is a delete, but I have kept it get method only, but you will have delete or put anything it can be, but just check the swagger or just check the API method name that you have to use. But normally for delete, we will have the delete method instead of get. Now this API call we have to call on the remove button. So that remove button is in our navbar. So this is what we are talking. So here let's write the function, click, remove. And for this remove, we need to pass the cart ID. So cart dot cart ID we need to pass. Let's create this function into our navbar component. Cart ID parameter. And here we need to make the API call. So this is my API call, remove product by ID and cart ID we need to set. And once we remove again, we need to make this API call so that we should get the updated data. This dot get customer by ID. Let's check the delete functionality also now. Now, if you see, we have two products. Let me just open the network. So here, currently we just have two products added into our cart. Let's try to remove the coriander. On click of remove, you can see one API call was there and we have sent the cart ID, that is 4079. Again, we have made the API to get the updated cart. So now if we check over here, oh, we have only one item, right? So this is how you remove the cart from the particular my basket. Now, the next thing left is nothing but checkout page. So in the checkout page, again, we need to get all the added item, whatever the cards item we have that you need to display in the table format. And then finally on the checkout, you need to make one API call, that is, where is place order. So this is also very simple. We need to send the address, customer ID, as we have done hard code in the cart API. And we uh, you don't need to send the cart item because for that customer I have already in the cart item, so I will use that in the API. So you just need to send the customer ID, logged in customer ID, sale date, new date, total invoice amount. You can just calculate discount if you provide, and the address detail. And once you hit this API, your cart will be empty and order will be placed. So this is just a whole flow you can do. If I got the time, I will try to cover this flow also. But for now, in this video, I have covered like how you will do the add to cart thing. If not, I will just complete it and push everything in the repository so you all can have access and the actual live functionality. I will make this live on the GitHub pages also, so you can have a access to that, right? And you can see the functionality, like how and where from where you are making the API call. Login and the sign up also I will try to cover, because recording and doing is something it takes time, but I can do it quickly and you can use it. So that's it with the current video. Sorry for again, I'm not making everything in detail, but just for the time being, consider this video. Again, I have two more videos, e-commerce, where I have covered everything, whatever I have skipped that I already covered. I will put the links of those video in the description. You can refer those also. Thank you for now.